that your inner experience is created by external situations. Then you have a whole cosmos to manage. Hello? Now you have a whole cosmos to manage because your inner experience is determined by everything that's happening around you. Well, all the best. You will never know a moment of… forget about joy, blissfulness, ecstasy, you will not know a moment of ease in your life. That is why, you know, this is probably a very sensitive subject to touch in California. That is why alcohol, drugs, so many other things have become so popular simply because people do not know how to sit at ease. I was in New York City some time ago, a large gathering. I asked how many people in New York City can sit in the evening peacefully without even a glass of wine. I'm using wine as a basic dose. Many are graduated into many things more. They debated and then they said maybe 5%. And next week I was in London, a prominent group of people. I asked them the same question. How many people in London can sit in the evening peacefully without even a glass of wine? They said 1%. I thought they were more honest. Los Angeles, 0%. How many people can just simply sit at ease? It's not there. They have to do something chemical to be peaceful. To grow food, we need chemicals. To be healthy, we need chemicals. To be peaceful, we need chemicals. To be joyful, we need chemicals. For everything, we need chemicals. But I'm asking you a simple question. Is it true that the most complex and sophisticated chemical factory is here? Is it true? Is it true? So the question is only, are you a good CEO or a lousy CEO? Isn't it? If you have the most complex chemical factory right here, are you running it well or are you running it badly? That's all the question is, isn't it? If you're running it well, you're blissful. Outside situations, not going according to your plans, I want you to understand it's not just for you. Even for me, all my plans upside down. All 2020, my plans were all 14, 16 months ahead. All programs cancelled. To get the advances we paid for the halls around the world, we are they also don't have money, we also don't have money, we are haggling. Everywhere, hall advances were paid across the world, trying to just get back a part of that advance. Our people are working hard. A lot of people just not picking up the phones. Really. So everything is upside down. So should I sit and cry? No, I got onto the motorcycle and joyfully riding across America. What else to do? Just 4 wheels, I reduced it to 2. We have over, a few thousand people in the center, both in India and here. So I have physical responsibility of them, feeding them, taking care of them. We have free schools to run, we have big projects which we have committed to, we have to run all those things. But all the revenue has become zero. But these commitments you have to fulfill. For the first time in my life, I've become a global beggar, going from place to place, begging for money because all these people are on my hands. There are over 5.2 million farmers who are depending on me. I can't just let down the project. So, knocking on all kinds of corporates, all these people, those people, whoever has money, begging for the first time. I must tell you, from the age of 8, I never took 1 rupee of pocket money from my father. From the age of 8, I earned my own money. I was always very proud of it. I never asked money from anybody. My education, my everything, my expeditions, everything was funded by me. For the first time, I've become a beggar, going place to place, but joyfully doing it what to do. To take a responsibility of everybody. For my own survival, I don't need anything, I'm very competent about that. But these big responsibilities you've taken, for this you have to pay. So is it a nice prospect for me at this stage in my life? No. But what to do? That's the reality. Hello?
Everyone wants to be able to just sit and be at ease. And we actually, a few of us woke up at 3 this morning and went to Darshan and Diamond Bar, and it's amazing, right? And you see at the courses and the ashrams, people are at ease within themselves. They don't have to be dragged to do things that are good and positive for their well-being. And so my question really is how, right? How, and is responsibility the first step in order to take action for our growth?
The first and foremost thing is just this: we must understand that human experience is being generated from here. Hello? Is that so? Your joy, your misery, your happiness, your struggles, your peace, your turmoil, your agony, your ecstasy, everything comes from here. When all human experiences come from within, at least what is coming from within must happen the way you want it, isn't it? Hello? You're getting serious, all of you. And I'm telling you, that's the only malady people have in the world. That people have become dead serious about their own lives, and they're taking themselves too seriously. They don't understand. They pop up like that and they pop out. Hello? We're just here for a brief amount of time, isn't it? If all of us just sit here like this on the lawn, after some time we'll become part of the soil here. If we sit long enough, I'm saying. Yes or no? But human beings have taken themselves too seriously. This happened. A lady went to sleep. In her sleep, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw a hunk of a man standing there and staring at her. Then he started coming closer, 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 closer. He came so close she could even feel her breath, his breath. She trembled, not in fear. Then she asked, "What will you do to me?" The man said, "Well, lady, it's your dream. You can do whatever you want." It's your dream. What's happening in your head is your dream, isn't it? Hello? Now the problem is not about life is not going the way you want it to go. Even your bloody dream is not going the way you want it to go. That is the problem, isn't it? As a generation of people, never before another generation in the history of humanity knew the kind of comforts, conveniences, and many other things that we have today. Yes or no? Hello? Then what are you complaining about? Compared to your parents, compared to your grandparents, aren't you living in far more comfort than ever before? So you should not complain. At the most, what will happen to us? And maybe it's possible at the end of another year, we may have and live with like how we were 10 years ago, or maybe 15 years ago. This is what bad economy means, I'm saying. The economy means every year, year on year, in America it must be growing to 3%, 3.5%. In India it must be, everybody expects it must be going at 10%. All right? So if it did not grow, what it means is, in a year's time, we may be how we were 10 years ago. In 2 years, if it continues, we may be how we were 20 years ago. But believe me, maybe none of you remember, 20 years ago, things were fine. Hello? There was nothing really wrong with us. We were fine. Since then, many steps we have taken. A few steps, if you backtrack, nothing is going to happen. Anyway, it's fashionable to wear torn clothes. What is the problem? Hello? When we were young, when we were riding, because one thing is it's on a motorcycle, so I just rode with 2 trousers, always, denims. all torn, so I go to the local cobbler and have it stitched here with a piece of leather, here one piece of leather, everything. It was a must. But now you're doing by choice, so you're prepared for bad economy. Really no problem. Diet is becoming simple because that's considered healthy. Diet is simple, clothes are torn, you're good. Nothing to bother about. If you're joyful, it's okay. Maybe we'll have 50% of what we had in 2019. It's all right. I'm saying, see, I'm already 2 kids, 50%, isn't it?
I would love to get your opinion. There's this quote that I love by astrophysicist Hubert Reeves. It says that man is the most insane species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature, unaware that the visible nature that he's destroying is the God he worships. And you can see this in many different facets of life, in many different industries, right? I heard you mention earlier at the darshan that over 190 million, close to 200 million land animals every day are slaughtered. That's over 70 billion a year. And I just think about that, right? And I think about including the marine life, trillions of animals each year are being killed, not out of necessity. And so how can we reconcile this mass amount of suffering that has happened?
Say, this, for example, right now I am on this exploring spiritual America trip. We've been on the road for 21 days now. Covered little, I think around 6,000 miles, and still another 5,000 plus miles are there. How this started was, about 17 years ago, I happened to be in Cookville. There's a place called Center Hill Lake. Somebody offered a small cottage there for me to stay because I was writing a book at that time, and I wanted some time for me to just sit in a low place where I'm not disturbed, where there is no phone connection, and you know. So I was there and I just took a walk in the forest, and then I saw something there, energetically something that was there. I would say probably that's the most painful moment in my life. I saw something connected with the Native American people, and it was in such a state of pain that it just deeply, deeply tore my heart. So that's when we decided we will set up the center in that place, and I inquired, what is this about, what's happened here? Then we came to know where that place is the Trail of Tears. The Cherokee were removed from there and things happened. It's not just about death, it's a human pain. I've found many such spots, particularly in the United States, very painful places. And these things that we are doing is not only to animals. We do it to anything and everything, all right? To human beings, what have we done? Animals don't speak, but don't think they don't curse. Don't think they don't suffer. They do. From anywhere between 50 to 60 million buffaloes at one time, they brought it down to 325. Can you believe it? Hello? Do you know this? There were 50 to 60 million buffaloes ranging in the American plains. In a matter of 8 or 10 years, they brought it down to 325. Those 325, if they were shot, there would be no buffalo on the planet, no bison on the planet. It's a bison, but Americans call it a buffalo, like they call the Native Americans as Indians, just like that. I'm the real Indian, you know. This was done strategically. Killing people would be considered very inhuman. Just kill their food, and they die anyway. somewhere. You don't have to… See, if you kill somebody, you'll have to bury them, there's a problem. How many do you bury? You take away their food, they will die somewhere. It's not your business, you know. From 50 million to 325. Can you imagine the slaughter? I was just… when these tribal leaders were telling me, I was just trying to imagine 50 million animals. In 8 to 10 years, you reduce it to 325. How do you do this? From 1970 to 2016, we as a generation of people have killed 68% of the vertebrate population on the planet. Of course, all this is done in pursuit of human happiness. I'm asking, why the hell are you not happy, first of all? Why are you pursuing it? Why are you pursuing it? Why are you pursuing something which is supposed to happen within you? Hello? If love, joy, happiness, peace have to happen, they need to happen here. Why are you pursuing it in the world and obliterating every other life? It's just insane. Only now, because it's threatening our life, everybody is talking ecology. I hate ecology, because this is life. All these trees are thinking your ecology, bad ecology. They think they are life and your ecology, isn't it? Hello? See, if any other species had done what we are doing on this planet, would we not have found some kind of gas, some kind of chemical, some kind of bomb to finish them off? Hello? Right now, see, we want a vaccine for the virus. Every other life here thinks we are the bloody virus, and we are. Hello? By the end of this century, they are saying 80% of the insects will be gone. Nearly 40% of United States bees are gone. Do you know, bees gone means it's not just about honey. It simply means you can't grow a damn thing after some time. There are no insects to pollinate and make things happen for the plants. If all the worms disappear right now, in 18 months' time, not a single life on this planet will be left. If all the insects disappear, in 4.5 to 6 years, not a single life will be left on this planet. If all the microbes disappear, right now life will end. But if all of us disappear, planets will flourish, this planet will flourish. So we must understand who we are. It's not because of us the world is spinning. This bad idea which is put into people's minds in the name of religion, that every other creature was created to serve us. Please go and ask an ant if it wants to serve you. Hello? It thinks you're a bloody bully. Hello? Yes or no? Does the ant want to serve you? The bird wants to serve you? The tree wants to serve you? Nobody wants to serve you. They have a full-fledged life of their own. It is in accepting, respecting and involving them in our lives. We have a right for our nourishment. Every life has to kill something to feed itself. We also have to do something. But there is a way to do it, isn't it? The way we are doing it is not the way. This is too cruel. For this, if we don't pay a price, what is it? We will pay a price. We are paying a price. If we don't, our children will. We will live with the fear that our children will pay the price. That is bad enough, isn't it? And the problem is right now, say we are running a project called Kaveri Calling. I'm trying to revive a whole river basin which is about 83,000 square kilometers. It took 6-7 years to change some policies in the government, in the central government, in the state government. These things we achieved 6-7 years of continuous work. Now we are on the ground creating this. People ask, Sadhguru, why are you going like this, like your life depends on it? Said, God damn it, not my life, your life depends on it. I'm capable of going to any part of the world and live comfortably. I'm capable of that. You, most of you are not. Where you are is where you are. Just to tell you the seriousness of this, in the summer months in southern India means it was one of the richest peninsulars on the planet in terms of agriculture. We have an agriculture history of over 12,000 years. We farm the same land, we grow 3 to 4 crops per year on the same land. But today, 52% has been declared as fallow. In just 40 to 50 years, I've started using fertilizer. So reviving this, we have a whole plan, which we have proven with over 70,000 farmers reviving their lands, and now we are aiming at this 5.2. The situation is like this. India runs on monsoons. Monsoon is a rain that comes from the Indian Ocean. 2 consecutive years, if the monsoons fail, what will happen? Right now, in the summer months in southern India, bore wells or tube wells as you call them here, go 1200 to 1400 feet. And they run only for 5 to 7 minutes in summer months. If you pump it for 5 minutes, you'll have to wait for 2-3 hours for it to fill up and again pump for another 5 minutes. If 2 consecutive monsoons fail, people will die in millions, and the civil unrest that will happen out of it when they have no water to drink is unimaginable. But we are going on as if it doesn't matter. Over 300,000 farmers have committed suicide in the last 2 decades. Because the soil has gone fallow, desertification is happening. Our volunteers in the last 17-18 years have planted over 38 million trees and increased the green cover by about 7.2% according to the government records, and the Google Maps show about 11% increase. This is a concerted effort. This effort happened successfully simply because we did something experiential with people. Well, there were no rains continuously, 2-3 years, big bad situation agriculture. Then I told them, see, you need to increase the green cover, otherwise this is not going to change. How do we do it, how do we do it? I said, see, this is very simple. Only thing is you have to commit yourself for this much. How many do we need? I said, we need 114 million trees to make 16.5% was the green cover they had. I said, if you make it 33% green cover on this land, you will see, you will have enough rains. 114 million trees, who is going to plant? Then I asked, what's your population? They said, 62 million. I said, if all of you plant 1 tree today, take care of it for 2 years, plant 1 more, it's done. Hello? Why is it all of us are eating, drinking, breathing, but why is it when it comes to compensatory action we think somebody else should do it? So today I just did a simple thing, I made them sit in hot sun. When they were really exhausted, I took them under a tree. Wow, it feels like… You must see, if you sit in the hot South Indian sun for 2 hours and then go under the shade of the tree, it feels like heaven. I put through a spiritual process for them. See, what you exhale, the tree is inhaling. What the tree is exhaling, you are inhaling this effect. Hello? That means 1/2 of your breathing apparatus is hanging out there. Once I made thousands of people experience this, now you can't stop these people from planting trees. Everywhere, over 200 different organizations have come up and they're all planting. We have planted 38 million. They all have planted together maybe 10-12 million. I'm saying this is all it takes. If all of us plant 1, wait for 2 years to grow up and plant 1 more. It's a done thing, isn't it? But we don't do. We want some calamity to happen. Till then we won't do. Right now, at least a soft calamity you're having. This pandemic is a soft calamity, because you don't know what's a hard calamity. In this generation has not seen any really hard calamity. You've not seen World War II, huh? Hello? You've not seen that kind of famines or that kind of, asteroid did not hit when you are there. Those are real calamities. This is a soft calamity, you know. You go to play baseball, they're not throwing a curve at you, they're just doing an underhand ball at you. That's what a pandemic is. God damn it, hit it well, huh? Hit it well, I'm saying. It's a soft ball compared to things that people have gone through, isn't it? Yes, sir.
I can't help but to think not only the privilege but the opportunity that we have here today. Just to give it context, about 72 hours ago I get a call from Aparna saying that Sadhguru is coming to LA. And within that time we were able to curate this experience. Again, just to give some context, like the influence of the group at this gathering is, after I added it up, around 80 million, the reach. And so I see that, and I really want to do some good with it. And so I would love to get your opinion on what we can do to infuse seeds of transformation into all of our content, into our media, and what can we do as people who have the privilege of having a voice in this day and age to use it for the betterment, upliftment of society.
I know all of you know this, that's why you're in that medium, but still I would like to put it in context. See, many great beings have come in the past. Krishna came, a wonderful being, but he could talk to only one person, and that guy has 100 questions. Shiva came, he is the Adi Yogi, the source of yoga. He tried to talk to his dear wife. She had 1,000 questions. But listen, Gautam Buddha came. He gathered a few people. But if he spoke, hardly 50 people can hear. I mean to say, he didn't have a microphone. I'm saying this has been the history of humanity. This is the first time, this is the very first time you can sit here and talk to the entire world. Do not underestimate this. If at all, ever in the history of humanity, we can transform human beings, this is the moment. Because this is the first time we can even talk to them. I'm earning disciples. My teams are going like this, Sadhguru, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Okay, so don't touch. Not just dogs, even human beings. If I go near somebody, Sadhguru, 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 no. So this is the very first time that we have a real opportunity to transform human beings. Because never before we could even talk to them. Probably about 17, 18 years ago, my journey on this online thing started like this. I was here in Tennessee and I was in the office and working with some people, and someone told me, Sadhguru, every day about 100,000 people type the word spirituality. I said, really? That many people? What are they looking for? I said, type it out, let's see what comes out. And they typed out the word spirituality. The first thing that came is a spa in Mexico. The second thing that came was a call girl in Northern California. She's doing all spiritual stuff. She's the SEO, you know. Then I said, this is a shame. What is this happening? So that's when I decided I will go online. And today across the world, in some 17 different languages, we are supposed to be touching 1 million people. But that's not my idea of humanity. I must tell you this, at that time, on that hill when things happened, I was only 25 years of age. And I can't say this to you, you're a young group. But now that I'm old, I can say, there's no fool like a young fool. When we were young, we used to think no fool like a old fool. Those of you who are in between, you're lost. So I was 25 and I realized that if I don't mess with my mind, I'm ecstatic. So I thought, who would not want this? This is it. This is it, I've found this. This is it. And I sat down and made a plan. The population on that day was 5.6 billion people in the world. I made a plan, this is it, in 2.5 years' time, I will go like this in the world and I will make the entire world ecstatic. In 2.5 years' time. 38 years. I've been working 7 days of the week, 365 days. But it took me some time to realize how deeply people are invested in their miseries. They are so deeply invested. If you show them the best thing, they say no. But today, you don't have to knock on their door. You can just slip in. Huh? Hello? You don't have to knock on their doors. You slip into their pockets, which is closest thing to their heart is their phone. You can slip into that without their permission. On that day, I also inquired with some so-called experts in this internet affairs. I said, so many people are on the internet, because I never get to browse, see this and that. Life never allows me such things. I said, what are they looking for? And very casually he said, Sadhguru, 70% of the data is pornography. I said, what? He said, yeah. I didn't believe that. I checked out with a few other people. They said, oh, Sadhguru, something like that, Sadhguru, it's not too far, somewhere there. And then they tell me, some 2.5 million children are being sold on the internet. I said, what is this? When we get a technology that we can reach every human being, what we do is sell our children? What's the matter with us? Hello? You can't sink anything below selling your children, isn't it? Hello? A human being cannot go any more, there's no further below bottom than this. So if we give you a great technology, you will sell your children on internet, maybe somebody else's children. I said that day, we got to go shamelessly on internet. People said, no, no, Sadhguru, it will not look good, a guru going on the internet. I said, I don't care. We will go all out. Since then we've been out. Please, in whichever way you think I can help or you can help, let's make this happen, because in our generation, this is our time on the planet. What we make out of this damn world is ours, whatever we make out of it. Hello? We should make something that if we look back and see, it looks good for us at least. Even if other people don't approve, at least in our minds and our hearts it must look good, isn't it, what we have done? Hello? All of you who are empowered with technology, you must make this happen one way or the other. Huh? That when we turn back and look, we are not ashamed of what we have done. This is one thing every human being should do. It doesn't matter what nonsensical judgments other people make about you. You should not be ashamed of what you have done, isn't it? By your own standards, I'm saying. You don't have to go by my standards or somebody else's standards, but you should not be ashamed of what you have done. That much every human being must do, especially if you're empowered in some way. You must do that. Let's make it happen.
Beautiful.